what are some tips or tricks that I can utilize to get straight to the people that I actually want to talk to? You mentioned a quiz, test. How can we do this?
I'll tell you the very first and easiest way is at the bottom of the application, make it tricky to apply. Not like impossible, but when you apply, email this address, spell your name backwards, and say, "I'm your next assistant." That alone will weed out at least half of the people. These are things I've been doing at the law firm for 10 years, almost 9.5, which has helped us amass such a just an amazing team of people. And we took all these concepts and went big with it at the staffing company.
I really like that idea a lot. Another thing that I've started implementing when I'm looking for a virtual assistant is I really like the idea of putting that at the bottom, creating some friction, creating some challenge. But one of the things that I like to do is recommend that they go to a Google form, fill out a Google form, and that'll populate my spreadsheet. And that's been a way of weeding out, 25% of the applicants. And that's been powerful for me. Another way another trend I've been noticing in this realm is video messages. So that's something that I ask for because I've definitely had virtual assistants in the past that are not comfortable with video, and the relationship just never feels the same. Is that a priority for you and your clients?
Yeah, so everyone that applies, when they get to a certain part of the stage, they have to submit a 90-second video to us, and then when we do the first interview with them, we record it. So if you were a client, Mark, we would send you a potential person you could hire through us, and it would have their 90-second video and their 5-minute interview. So you get a feel for their energy, if you're going to vibe with them, and then you decide to interview them if you're giving a final thumbs up or thumbs down. So we employ the same thing. The video is one of the coolest things, and I started that at the law firm a long time ago, but one of the coolest things we ever did, because you get to see before they walk in, like, oh, this person, like, no thanks, their energy is terrible, or like, wow, this person I could really see working here. Again, and you still haven't looked at a resume by then.
Right.
Like, don't look at the resume before you watch their video.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Like, the resume is like the last thing that you should be looking at when bringing someone on board, right? Not the first. Yeah. Although I would put this out there as well, Brett, because one of the biggest challenges that I've had in bringing on new team members to Mark Savant Media is bringing on team members that are great at writing copy. Has that been a challenge for you in linking up these VAs with law firms and CPAs and so on and so forth?
Yeah, so it's the hardest thing in the U.S. It's the hardest thing outside of the U.S. But finding people who are good at writing is a challenge. I mean, I've got friends that are very educated that, no offense, like they can't write for shit, and so yes, that is probably the biggest challenge, but it's not impossible. Again, that's why you have to widen the net and really dig down and get people who, because they are out there, but especially when you're trying to find, actually, thank you, Mark, because I have a speech coming up next week in front of over 1,000 people who are our target market, and just talking about differentiators and stuff. The reason it took you 6 months is, I mean, you're going on like these Fivers and the other, and you're trying to like hire people directly, and it's hard to find people who can write, and you don't know unless you test them, if they had someone else write a cover letter for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Or the problem is when you're going through these applications online, it's almost always a copy and pasted statement that they've written down and proofread and probably had edited. So the resume that you're looking at is not going to be a clear indication of how well they actually execute on copy and copywriting. So, I mean, to your point, it's challenged, but that's why going with a firm like Get Staffed Up can help to save you just, I can't tell you how many dozens of hours I've spent on onboarding.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad you enjoyed this episode. I've got several other episodes right here for you. Smash one of these videos to make sure that you don't miss out on the tips, tools, and tactics of industry experts. Let's take that side hustle full time. Smash one of these links.